Hi everybody, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Something totally different again tonight. I'm going to do a flip cup with slightly thinner, runnier paints and flip cup with no silicone in the paints. I'm going to pour it onto the canvas and then I'm going to use some silicone to create a pattern. I've got a heart-shaped canvas, so totally unusual canvas shape for me. And I'm going to dot some silicone on afterwards. I've tried it before and it didn't work at all, but I want to try it again because the results can be just so pretty. So excited to try this. So let me show you the colours I'm using. So these are the colours I'm going to use. 4 Amsterdam colours. So there's white, manganese blue, quinacridone rose and light rose. And then 2 De La Rowney System 3 acrylics, velvet purple and Prussian blue. Pebeo Studio acrylics iridescent green blue. And then Montmartre, what colour is it? Yellow green, which is a really lovely bright colour. So they're all mixed up there, ready to go. They're all mixed with PVA glue and water pouring medium, but it's quite a thin mix. In fact, let me show you. So I've mixed this about 2 parts pouring medium to 1 part paint. So in each pot, there's approximately 30 grams of pouring medium, 15 grams of paint. So you can see it's quite thin. It doesn't leave much of a trace. The trace just literally a split second and then it goes under the surface. So really quite thin. So I'm going to layer up this plastic cup. I think I'm going to go for maybe 2 layers of each colour. So each time I'm going to put in approximately half of the paint that I've got. Now these might mix a little bit because they're a bit runnier, but my aim is just to try and drizzle them on top of each other. Wow, that is beautiful. That is the most beautiful cup of paint. So to do something totally different, totally interesting, I've got a heart-shaped canvas. I'm going to guess it's 40 centimetres. I think so. Yeah, it's more, definitely bigger than 30. So flip cups. Now this is a very, very full cup. So I think I'm going to just put my canvas on top. Oh, I can feel it spilling out. There we go. Flipped. It was so full. I would normally leave time for it to all drain down, but to be honest, it's so full. I don't think I really need to do that. So I think, let's just flip it, pull it away. Right, why on earth am I getting cells? There's no silicone in it. Where have these cells just come from? It's a thinner mixture, so I'm not expecting cells. Okay, right, so I think what I might do is get the canvas covered. Oh, that's totally spoilt my plan now with my silicone because I've already got cells. So I'm just literally just stretching it all around just to get it all covered. Lots of paint on here, so I can really tip quite a bit off. Right, so no cells here, but cells over there. So it feels right that I should maybe, I'm just getting rid of that bit I don't like, that I should actually just tip some of these cells off, stretch this out, and then I can hopefully do what I was planning on doing. This is only going to hopefully work because I've got so much paint on this canvas. Right, so I actually quite like it like that. It's very glossy. You can see that, really see the transparency of the colours nicely. So I would normally torch it at this stage, but I'm a bit scared of torching it in case I get loads of cells. There's a big air bubble there. So there are cells popping up. Okay, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to torch it. Right, so what I want to use to create cells is this coconut milk. It's dirty already, haven't even used it. Coconut milk, nourishing plus coconut milk, anti-breakage serum made by OGX, I think. So I'm just going to try and get it working. Put a little tiny bit of it into a dish, only a tiny bit, and then I'm going to use a pin. I'm just going to dip the edge of the pin into the oil and then just very gently dab it into my painting. Right, it's working. I've got cells already, which is nuts, but it's working. So look how big these cells are compared to these. So they've really had time to expand, and they've expanded beautifully, and that's because the paint's quite thin. So these ones will be catching up. So what I'm going to do now is another layer of cells, just slightly in from these. I'm so excited. It's worked. I cannot believe how well this has worked. I'm sure I've tried this in the past and it just, nothing happened. Maybe it's down to the consistency of paint. The paint's nice and thin. Now, the circles, the cells are quite small in the middle, and I am trying to make myself not do any more, because look at the size of these amazing cells here. So those ones will catch up, but it may take 10 minutes, because that probably took me a good 10-15 minutes to do everything. These cells are fascinating. Look at the edges. Oh, let me focus. Just look at the edges of them. They almost look a bit flowery. I've never seen cells like this. So I don't know whether that's because it's this coconut milk serum, whether it's just the difference in oil that I've used. But I've never quite seen cells like it. Often when I've created cells before with silicone, they're perfectly round. They don't have these sort of flowery edges, but I love the flowery edges. And it absolutely fascinates me what colours you can see. So before I started putting any of the oil on, it all looked pretty bland, but then it just amazes me how you've got this variation of colour underneath. So you've very clearly got some pale pink here, very clearly got some blue, some green. This looks yellow, but I think that's just the greenish yellow. Some dark blue here, a little bit of turquoise there. So all the colours are there underneath. So some dark pink here. It's really pretty. I definitely want to do this again. I say this every time, with just maybe some really rich pinks and purples. So less rainbowy, but some more tones that really match. A little bit, I guess, like some of these cells, because these are really pretty. Dark, so the dark pink, dark purple. What an interesting painting. Yeah, even while I've been talking, these have got bigger. So yeah, I definitely don't need any more oil on this. Oh, I'm really excited. I really like how regimented it is. Right, I'll be back when it's dry. So here's the finished result. I'm over the moon because it's kept its shape. So the cells were expanding and expanding, especially the first ones I put in, these bottom ones here, but they've kept their shape. They haven't distorted. So you can clearly see the pattern in the cells. I do think it's a little bit dark, and I definitely want to do this again, but in heart colours. So I think maybe some pinks, some purples, some reds. I think it would look fab. So colours that can blend with each other, as opposed to opposing colours like the sort of the yellow and the blue. So I think there's a little bit of muddying in between all the cells. So I think if I did colours that blended better, you'd get less muddying. But wow, I love the effect. I love the result of it. And I love the fact that I've started on the outside and then worked my way in. So you've got a pattern within it. Let me show you these bottom cells to start with. They are so interesting. So they look a little bit flowery. You've got these little bits that sort of jet inwards towards the centre. They definitely look like actual cells, like human body cells up close under a magnifying, under a microscope. So you've got the nucleus, you've got almost like the different parts of the cells. Yeah, it's just really interesting. It was a bit of an experiment, and I think it's paid off. There's definitely things I would change, but it's worked. Really, really happy with the design. I love the fact that it's on a heart canvas. I've got another heart canvas, so I think I'm going to do it again, but in, yeah, reds and pinks. Let me know what you think. If you like it, please do hit the thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.